Hello, this is Connie Belden, and in this video we're going to look at vertical and horizontal analysis. First of all, vertical goes up and down. So a little trick there is think about your vertebrae, your backbone. Your vertebrae goes up and down. Horizontal goes across. A little trick there, think of the horizon, it goes across. So we're first going to start with vertical analysis. You can do a vertical analysis on an income statement, a balance sheet. In this particular example, we're going to do an income statement. Now again, a vertical analysis goes up and down. So a vertical analysis will be done for the same company for the same time period. All the calculations will result from that. But then after you do the calculations from the same time period for the same company, you can compare it to different time periods for that same company, or you can even compare it to different companies in your same industry, because what you're getting, as you'll see in a moment, is percentages. So let's start with the vertical analysis and the income statement. First of all, sales is always going to be your 100%. Everything is going to be based on sales. So even in 2020, sales will be my 100%. Okay, so in 2020, sales are 700,000. In 2021, sales are 950,000. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 2021 as an example. So what that means is all the rest of these numbers here that I've highlighted will be divided by 950,000 because you are getting all of the rest of these numbers as a percentage of sales. So I'll write out to the side here. So for the first one, cost of goods sold is 400,000, 400, and you will divide it by sales of 950,000. Okay, so I will do that here. I will take 400,400 divided by 950,000, and you get 42.1%. Double check what Cengage asks you to do, but most homework assignments is going to ask you to take it to one decimal place. Okay, for gross profit, it's 549,600, and again, you're divided by net sales of 950. Okay, so I'll do that here. I will take 549,600 divided by 950, and you get 57.9%. So you do the rest of the calculations the same way. Over here, everything will be divided by 700,000. So for example, it will be 264 for cost of goods sold divided by sales, or 700,000. Okay, and when you do that, you will get 37.7%. Okay, I'm going to show you the completed one. The answer is here below. But again, I just took each one of these numbers, divided it by 950,000 to get the percentage. So for example, selling expense was 145,600 divided by 950,000 gave me 15.3%. And again, for the previous year, everything was divided by 700,000. Now, once you have two vertical income statements, you can use them to compare how you've done from one year to another, or you can even use it to compare with other companies within your industry. So here is my same company, Sunrise Dairy, for 2 different years. So I could take a look at, for example, in 2020, I spent almost 38% on cost of goods sold compared to sales. However, in 2021, the next year, I spent over 42% for cost of goods sold. So I need to determine, why were my cost of goods sold a little bit higher? Did prices of my materials change, but yet I didn't raise my sales price? Let's look at administrative expenses though. Last year, let's say they were 9.4%. In 2021, they went down to 7.7%. So we are saving money on administrative expenses. So that's how you can use it as a comparison. And you can see here are the main changes down below. Okay, let's take a look at a horizontal analysis. Again, a horizontal analysis goes across. So you're actually taking two different time periods and comparing the two for the same company. So I'm going to use years 2020 and 2021 again. Okay, so what I will do, I will go left to right, take the current year minus the previous year to get the amount of increase or decrease. So I will take 955,500 minus 679,800. Okay, that gives me an increase of 275,700. Then I will take that amount of increase and divide it by the furthest past period. So 2020 is the furthest past period. So in other words, I'll divide it by 679,800. Okay, so I'll write it out to the side what we did here. We took the difference of 275,700 and divided it by the furthest past year, which was 2020, 679,800. Okay, and that gave us almost 41%. So what we're saying is sales went up by almost 41%. Now let's do the same thing for cost of goods sold. I will take 40,400 minus 264. That gives me a difference of Okay, sorry, let's try that again. 440,400 minus 264 gives me 136,400. Then I will take 136,400 and divide it by 264,000. Okay, so that gives me 51.7%. So something to notice here is that sales in the current year went up by almost 41%, but cost of goods sold went up by about 11% more. So cost of goods sold is going up by more than our sales, meaning we might want to look at why is the cost of goods sold more than the increase in sales. Sometimes the amounts might decrease. Let's take a look at, for example, selling expenses. I will take 90,000 in the current year minus 92,400 in the previous year. So selling expenses actually went down by 2,400. So then what I will do is take 2,400, okay, and divide it by, again, the furthest past year, 92,400. And again, we're taking all of these to one decimal place. So that gives me a decrease of 2.6%. And again, what I did there is I took the difference of 2,400, which was a negative, and divided it by the furthest past year of 92,400. And since it was a decrease, the percentage will be a decrease as well. Okay, and you'll continue on doing them that way. I'll show you the completed one. So some key notes that you might notice too is that sales went up by 40%. And again, we talked about cost of goods sold went up by more than that 40%. However, overall, net income went up by 60%. A lot of that might be due to the savings in some selling expenses. That might have contributed to it as well. Okay, another thing that I want to point out is that you can do these horizontal and vertical analysis on the balance sheet as well. When you're doing a horizontal on the balance sheet, you want to use total assets as your 100%, and then everything is divided by the total assets. So that also means that total liability and stockholders' equity will be 100% as well, since those are the same numbers. There are some illustrations in the book doing the horizontal and vertical analysis with the balance sheet, so I suggest you go and look at those before completing your homework. Thank you very much.